feel like that job at the parking lot.
There's a picture you can just turn it in. Or you can use the arrow.
How are you?
That's all, yeah, that was fine. Perfect, yeah.
How are you? Good to see you. Fire. So for you, firefighter, you.
Well, we sent them
Actually, thank Bill. Bill
I mean,
found
they
it.
all wanted to be, yeah.
I said, well, somebody's going to be looking for this, so I'll just give it to
Yeah, you.
Caitlin tomorrow.
So they were all here to greet you.
Just right, just right.
Oh, you're on it.
Bill for the win.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order. The time is 7:30. This is the regular council meeting for February 10th. Clerk, can you please do a roll call?
Mayor Pro Tem Bliss.
I'm here.
Councilman Fleming.
Here.
Councilman Meir.
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach. Here. Councilman Soltis. Councilor Wright.
Here.
Mayor Grayson.
I am here. Can I please get a motion to excuse Councilman Soltis? He did give notice.
Your Honor. So moved.
All right, thank you. Support? All right, motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. And we are going to have the invocation and pledge this evening led by Councilor Wright. I invite you to stand if you would like.
Let us together take a moment to reflect with gratitude and purpose. Today we gather, we recognize Black History Month and Lunar New Year, two celebrations of heritage, resilience, and renewal. Black History Month reminds us of the strength, courage, and contributions of those who paved the way for justice and progress. The Lunar New Year symbolizes renewal, hope, and the opportunity to embrace new beginnings with wisdom and unity. As we honor the past, may we find inspiration to build a future rooted in understanding, respect, and collective progress. May we carry forward the lessons of those who came before us, striving to create a world where every person is valued, every culture is honored, and every community thrives. May this time of reflection, renew our commitment to justice, peace, and unity. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. So first up, we have approval of the agenda. Can I please get a motion to add the KEEP agreement for the Fire Chief KEEP extension to the consent agenda as 6A?
Your Honor.
Your,
Yes,
So moved.
thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Yes.
Support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. Are there any other additions or deletions this evening? All right, seeing none, we are going to go into presentation, starting with the Fire Chief and the 2024 Firefighter of the Year Award.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Damon, why don't you come up? Mayor and Council, it's both an honor and privilege to stand before you tonight to recognize Lieutenant Damon Brown as the 2024 Firefighter of the Year. In 2024, Lieutenant Brown's tireless work and commitment to excellence has significantly impacted the department, our operations, and the level of care we provide to our community. This year, Lieutenant Brown achieved numerous accomplishments, including leading the training of our paramedics and over 100 revisions to our EMS protocols. He implemented these revisions, ensuring the department remained at the forefront of delivering the highest standard of EMS care. In June, Lieutenant Brown was appointed to the Old County Medical Control Authority Protocol Committee, a well-deserved recognition for his dedication to advancing EMS care throughout the county. He also played a critical role in implementing our new state-of-the-art heart monitors, ensuring our paramedics are trained and prepared for the use at the most critical times. His commitment to education extended beyond his role as the EMS instructor. He attended specialized fire trainings, participated in the Great Lakes Hot fire training, bringing back valuable knowledge and skills to the department. Lieutenant Brown's support of the administrative functions of the EMS program further underscored his commitment to the goals of delivering extraordinary services. He is an inspiration and a leader in action, willing to go above and beyond for the department. In every role he assumes, Lieutenant Brown has demonstrated the highest standards of dedication, professionalism, and excellence. His contributions this year has immediately impacted the department and will in the future. Set an example for all. For these reasons, I am honored to present Lieutenant Damon Brown as the 2024 Firefighter of the Year.
So, Lieutenant Brown, officially. Thank you for everything that you do to keep us safe and to help all of our firefighters do their jobs better. We appreciate everything that you do. Congratulations. Congratulations. Did you want to say anything? You don't have to. You don't have to, but you can, if you want.
I just have two thank yous, really. First and foremost, thank you to my lovely girlfriend, Maria. I know it can be frustrating when I'm gone for days or tell you that I'm coming home late because something came up. So I appreciate your support and for holding things down at the fort while I'm working. And then secondly, thank you to my crew. I have undoubtedly the best unit on the department, and they have high standards of their leaders, and so they're the ones that drive me to do the things that I do on the department. So thank you to them as well.
All right. Thank you, and thank you to all our firefighters who came out today to support you. That really speaks volumes for what your team thinks of you. Thank you. Okay, next up, we've got from the Oakland County Treasurer, Robert Wittenberg is going to give his report on foreclosure prevention.
You gotta follow that.
Very different kind of presentation here. I'll try a little song and dance afterwards, maybe, just to bring the mood up a little bit. It's nice to see all of you again. This is that time of year that I am trying to traverse as much of the county as possible to talk about our work in preventing foreclosure. There are 63 cities, villages, and townships in Oakland County. Again, more so than any other county in the state, so I will not get to all of them, but I'm trying to get to as many as I can. And I'm always happy to come here to Madison Heights, close to home, friends serving here. So it's really nice to be here. So this is similar to the presentation we did last year because it's cyclical, right? The tax cycle every single year. March 31st is the deadline for people to pay their property taxes from 2022 and prior to prevent foreclosure. So I do have a little bit of a presentation. I'll try to get through it pretty quickly. I came from Waterford actually just before this, and so this is my third. I did Pontiac last week or 2 weeks, last week I think it was. So just getting started, so we'll see. I don't have to go through all this. This is just, an update of some of the things that are going on in our office. But you can go on our website or reach out to me if you have any questions about the work that we're doing. But for today, actually, let's to look here because my eyes, I have pretty good eyesight, but I don't think I can read the small print all the way over there. So just to give you an idea, like I said, 2025. Oh yeah, I can look over this way too. Thank you. That still isn't easy. Just the little numbers on the next to the graphics. Otherwise, I can see everything else. But I kind of know what they are, so it's not a big deal. So just to give you an idea, your taxes are owed to. So anyone listening at home, the city taxes are owed to the city, and they are due for your summer and your winter taxes. They are due to the city by the end of February, and then on March 1st, they get turned over to the county. And that's how it is every single year. And then we, in essence, become the collections agent on the delinquent taxes. So the foreclosure process is a 3-year process. I'll go through that a little bit as we talk through these slides. But ultimately, this year, what we're talking about in 2025 is anyone who owes 2022 tax years and prior. So if they owe 2022 and prior, they are subject to foreclosure. Each year is independent of every other year. So you could owe 21s and not 22s, or 22s and not anything prior, and you are still subject to foreclosure based on those years. So to give you an idea of kind of the scope of what we're looking at here for the county, again, we're almost 1.3 million people. I think about 500,000 parcels in Oakland County, somewhere around there. So what gets turned over to delinquent? So this gives you an idea of what happened last year. So this was the 2024 foreclosure cycle. I just want people to kind of see the scope of this. So 41,465, that's how many parcels were turned over delinquent. So from all the CVTs in Oakland County, that's what was turned over delinquent. That 39,344 are people who ultimately paid it in full before the 3 years for foreclosure. That 1,637, that is, they either got on a repayment agreement with us or conducted a taxpayer assistance meeting with us and had some other issue possibly where probate, bankruptcy, things like that. So that lowers the number as well. You go down to 244. So that was actually the foreclosed properties. But then afterwards, we go through and do what's called file review to double check that we followed every part of the law. So before someone gets foreclosed, they probably get 12 notices or so before they actually are foreclosed. So they get first-class mail, priority mail. We visit the property twice. So we're doing the best we can to let people know that they are at risk of foreclosure. So after that, there was 109 that were taken out for whatever reason. And last year, 131 properties were foreclosed. Then they go to a tax sale. That 131 was just a slight uptick from the year before. We had about 90 the year before, and that was the lowest we've ever had in Oakland County. So 131, again, talking about 500,000 parcels, it's not a bad number overall. Our goal obviously is to not foreclose on anything, but for the most part, the parcels that we're foreclosing on are vacant, either vacant land or a vacant structure. When it's an occupied parcel, occupied property, we're obviously doing everything we can to try to prevent foreclosure because we know it impacts the owner, their neighbors, the whole community. So this kind of gives you an idea of the scope again. So this is the timeline. I won't go through all of this. I know this is not, from there it's not easy to see. I guess I can see better here. So the first year is kind of year 0. Once it's turned over to us, it's delinquent. The next year, it's forfeited. And then after that is the foreclosure year. Interest and fees are added. We have no control over the interest and fees. That is state statute, what is added to that. We cannot forgive anyone their taxes, their interest, and their fees. What we can do is give people more time to pay, get them on a repayment agreement, also try to find resources that might be available in the community. So this gives you a listing here of all the different notices that go out to people, again, all the timeline of everything. So I don't need to go into the specifics of this, but again, this is on our website. Some of the efforts that we're doing, I talked about the 3-year process. I talked about March 31st this year is the deadline. If you don't listen to anything else that I say tonight, so anyone paying attention here at home, the most important thing is reach out to us, please. We don't know you need help unless you tell us you need help. So please reach out to us, and I'm going to give you our contact information afterwards. So that's what the We're Here to Help is saying. We have those taxpayer assistance meetings. I think I alluded to them or talked briefly about them, but those are one-on-one opportunity for us to talk about your unique situation. So we schedule them. They used to be in person. Now very few people come in person. We do it over the phone typically and talk to them about their unique situation and how we can be helpful. So I was doing my TAMs today. We have about 6 of us in the office that go through these and try to help. And then we also have within our office our Financial Empowerment Center, so someone who's like a financial coach that can help people with setting a budget, debt relief, things like that, resources. And so I'll give that phone number in a second. The community outreach, that again is me trying to get to as many council and township meetings as possible. Also, we do some ads online. I keep telling people, our goal, our duty in our office is to collect taxes. Foreclosure is not what we set out to do. Obviously, that's the statute. That's, how to hold people accountable if they never reach out to us or don't do what's asked of them. But again, our goal is to just collect taxes. We're not trying to foreclose on people. So just want people to be aware of that. The last thing on the bottom there is help us spread the word. So that's partly why I'm coming out here to all of you as you're out and about in the community. If you talk to people and you know that they owe taxes, please tell them that we are friendly. We want to help them. Please have them reach out to us. So the phone numbers that I promised, calling the Financial Empowerment Center, the number's up there, the 248-858-0672. Our website, if you ever want to check, oakgov.com/treasurer. Also, and I always forget to ask this before I speak at these communities, but you guys use Oakland County Equalization or you have Equal? Okay. So just FYI for people at home, there is a hardship or poverty I should call it poverty exemption for people based on your income. You just have to reach out to the assessor to see if you qualify. So that number up there, 248-858-0740. So people can call that number. Also, not an entity that is within Oakland County, but someone that we refer people to, Lakeshore Legal Aid. We'd like to have this slide up there as well to call them. They are a free legal service for low-income families and seniors. Again, they do not do criminal law or traffic violations, but otherwise they can help you with almost anything if you fall in one of those categories. LakeshoreLegalAid.org is where you can go. This is a little plug where I've started recording, or I last year recorded some videos, short videos about when you get your tax bill, what the tax bill looks like, when you get the assessment notice, the foreclosure process, some things that people might not quite understand, but try to make it in a short, digestible video that they can understand. So we're hoping this will go live in the next month. So when I'm here next year, if it's not live, then something bad happened. So let's hope that it does go live. It should. So just an FYI. And then the last thing, again, reaching out to our office, 248-858-0611. You can email treasurer@oakgov.com. But I will reiterate it. The most important thing is please reach out to us if you do need help. Again, if you owe 2022 and prior year taxes, reach out to us and we will do our best to help you, get you on a repayment agreement, and hopefully get you on better footing moving forward. So that's it. I try to go through as quickly as I could, and I appreciate the time, and obviously I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
On that first record, it had at the end that it was for December of 2023.
So if you don't mind.
Sure.
So what was I'm sorry, what was the question, sir?
I'm wondering why.
On here?
Yeah, right there, it has a program concluded in December 2023.
Let me see what you're looking at. So the MyHap, I think, yeah. So you're talking about the MyHap program. Okay, so that was a program that was federal COVID relief dollars. So federal dollars that were given to the state through MSHDA, the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. That was money that was given there for low-income families, people that were impacted by COVID. They could get a $25,000 grant to pay for their delinquent taxes, mortgage, utility bills, condo association fees, things like that. That, I think it was, I don't know if this said how much it was. Yeah, so $7.4 million went to taxpayers here in Oakland County. That program has since been, the funds have been exhausted. So that is no longer available. So unfortunately, so that was, when did that one end? I guess it said in 23, right? Is that when?
December 23.
Yep, so that's when it ended. So there was, I forget how much the state got from federal relief dollars, but that was the program. And that helped, again, over $7 million for just taxes in Oakland County. It also went to utility bills, mortgages, things like that. So a lot went to property owners here in Oakland County. So thank you for that question.
Are there any other questions? All right.
You have this stuff in writing, you can bring this stuff in writing so you can get a copy of it or something.
I will leave you the copy that I brought. I'm happy to do that. And then obviously anyone here, I'm happy to email it to I can email it to you, and if you want to share it as well, City Manager Marsh. So happy to, we put it out in our newsletter, we put it on our website, so, again, we want people to be aware.
All right. Well, thank you, Treasurer Wittenberg, for coming. Really appreciate it. And Mrs. Marsh, if this information is not there already, can we put some of this information up on our site, maybe with a link to the county, so that if people do have any questions, they can reach out directly?
Actually, this was sent, because that's how you have the presentation, so you do have
We
this.
do have a
And if
copy.
there's anything else you need, let me know.
Will do.
So,
Thank you.
I'm going to leave this here,
Yep.
and good to see you all, and thank you so much. Stay warm.
Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, next up, we have meeting open to the public. So this is the opportunity for members of the public to come up and speak. Ask that you go to the podium, that you keep your comments to 3 minutes, give your name, address, and identification with the city, address your comments to me, and with that, I open public hearing, public comment.
Mayor's job. Michigan is the United States. Peter's above Mayor Michael Blanchard to begin.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak this evening? All right, seeing no one, I'm going to close public hearing, and we're going to go into our consent agenda. I'm going to ask that we pull the Random Acts of Kindness proclamation, and can I get a motion to approve the other two items on the consent agenda from the Director of Public Services for the 2025 fireworks display permit, and then for the regular minutes from January 27th?
Your Honor,
Yes.
so moved.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor.
Oh, and sorry, and the keep as well that we added at the end, number 6A, the keep for the fire chief.
Your Honor, motion amended to include it.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
All right, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. And then I have pulled the proclamation that we're going to do for Random Acts of Kindness. I'm going to read that, and then Mrs. Scott, if you would like to make any comments. All right. So, whereas our daily news is dominated by tragic stories of crime, violence, and disaster, often leaving citizens with feelings of despair and helplessness. And whereas 28 years ago, former Councilwoman Margene Scott created the very first proclamation and introduced Random Acts of Kindness Week to the city of Madison Heights, and has helped the city celebrate Random Acts of Kindness each year since through her dedicated services to the city, and continues to do so after her retirement in 2019. And whereas Random Acts of Kindness Week is enacted to encourage Madison Heights residents to commit conscious acts of goodwill as an affirmation of the goodness and generosity of the human spirit. And whereas by performing small acts of kindness on a daily basis, we have an opportunity to recognize and celebrate the far-reaching effects we as individuals can have on the world around us. And whereas it is time for everyone to exemplify kindness in our daily lives and make an effort to be better humans, remember to take kindness to heart. The work of being kind never ends, and kindness is truly essential to our survival. Being kind every day is the one way we can all make a difference. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and City Council proclaim the week of February 9th to 15th, 2025 as Acts of Kindness Week, and we urge all citizens to join in celebrating the week with acts of kindness, patience, and understanding, and we challenge you to make kindness a way of life all year long. Can I get a motion to approve the proclamation, please?
Your Honor,
Yes.
motion to approve.
Thank you. Support? Thank you. Motion is made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. So we've now proclaimed the week. And Mrs. Scott, will you take this, and then would you like to speak?
Yes, I would like to speak, but I would like, can you just pass it around or make sure I get it after the meeting?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You got two.
Thank you very much, and I won't take up too much time. I have a reputation for doing that, so I promise to make sure it's a cold night. And I had a a lovely random act of kindness done for me tonight that made it possible for me, and that was Councilman Muir and Debbie brought me to the meeting, so, and had the car all warmed up and everything, so I want to thank you, because I wouldn't be here without their help, but thank you very much. Anyways, I'm so glad that you're honoring this. This is such a wonderful that you're doing this every year, and it didn't realize it's been that many years. But I brought something, a proclamation that was given to us, and this sounds very dated because Michael Bouchard was then our state senator, and John Engler was our governor. So this is a copy of that, was given to Jack and I myself, one of the first times we did that in our city. Let it be known that it is a distinct privilege to extend the highest praise and tribute to several individuals who have prepared and participated in Random Acts of Kindness Week. Acts of violence seem to be heard so often that it's times like these when we hear of acts of kindness that we feel the world is worth spreading. Kindness Week was enacted to encourage people to commit conscious acts of goodwill and to affirm the goodness and generosity of the human spirit. The message that is sent in this kindness should dominate violence. And we commend all of the devoted volunteers, and that was directly given to us as a city, who have stepped outside of their obligations in life to freely give their time to help a stranger. And I do have some little cards I want to pass out that we have passed these out in the past. And it says, you are a recipient of a Random Acts of Kindness. To show your appreciation, please pass the kindness on. Kindness is contagious. So I'm going to pass this around, and you take a few. And remember to have them. I did pass them out at the senior center today, and they were appreciative. And I said, let me know what you do. And I would really like to congratulate the city who has been supporting this. Every year we do this. When you first come in City Hall, you see a huge green board that is covered with fabric, and you are encouraged to put any Random Act of Kindness Week a message on there. If there's somebody you want to thank here, anybody here at City Hall, that's great. Excuse me. But you can put your messages out there, and I hope that there's already 3 or 4 of them out there as of this morning. So I hope to see when I come in next time to have that board filled with little Post-it notes of acts of kindness that maybe you want to thank somebody at City Hall, or you just want to publicize the fact that you're thankful for all that you have. So I want to thank the city very much for supporting this every year. You're a gem. And as you remember, I think you read the article about how it started. And I wanted to thank in heaven Jack, my former husband, and my late husband. I shouldn't say former, as he was, but he has passed on now. But he was really the kindest man I ever met and knew, and I was privileged to be his wife and share all the happiness that we had together for almost 25 years. But I want to thank you very much for supporting it year after year, and I hope to hear all kinds of wonderful things that we're doing and people that you're pleasing. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Mrs. Scott. All right, next up, we have ordinance. It's from the CED Director, Ordinance 2202, the rezoning of PRZN 24-02, 1357 West 14 Mile Road. It's from R2 to B2. This is the first reading.
The applicant requests to rezone one parcel of land located at 1357 West 14 Mile Road from R2 one-family residential to B2 community business district. The subject parcel is approximately 2.3 acres in size and is improved with a 14,200 square foot building previously occupied by a church and has an associated parking lot and accessory structure. The property is located on the south side of West 14 Mile between Campbell Road and Stevenson Highway. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the rezoning at their January 21st meeting. Therefore, staff recommends that City Council adopt Ordinance 2202 upon first reading and schedule a second and final reading on February the 24th.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I move that we adopt ordinance 2202 on first reading, scheduling the second and final reading for the council meeting of February 24th.
All right, thank you. Is there support?
Your Honor, I'll support.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right.
Your Honor?
Yes.
May I add one change to the motion if the grantor would allow me to? Could you also add that you're waiving the need for a public hearing on the matter?
Mr. Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor, so amended.
Counselor Rohrbach?
Agreed.
All right, thank you. Is there any other comments from our attorney or anyone else this evening? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries. And with that, I invite closing comments, starting with Councilman Muir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Congratulations to Lieutenant Brown on this firefighter of the year, and thanks Treasurer Wittenberg for the presentation about foreclosures. Like he said, please reach out if you need help. Thank you, Margene, for your random act of kindness so many years ago and your continued acts of kindness over the years. I've already been able to receive and give this week. I ran into my neighbor shopping on Saturday and mentioned how I've been struggling a little bit with getting around, and we got that little dusting of snow, and Sunday she sent her husband over to shovel our walk for us, so much appreciate that, and it was my pleasure to extend that on to Margene tonight and get her here to read the proclamation. I know it means so much to you after all these years. So.
And you also found my lost earring on the way.
Yes.
So thank you so much for that.
Yes. Black History Month, please keep learning on all the contributions that that we've been received by this country over the many years. Also, I think that's it. That's it. Oh, Little League registration still open. Think spring.
Think spring. Pro Tem Bliss?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just going to say ditto to all the thanks and congratulations that Councilman Muir mentioned. And I will just add one other note that Councilwoman Scott, who graced us with her presence tonight, will be at our next Historical Museum open house, which is March 8th. It's a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. She will be one of the special guests, sharing moments that she remembers and highlights through her long and storied council career. So please join us for that.
All right, thank you. Councilor Wright?
Thank you. I first off would just like to say kudos to the officer who won the award of the year as well, but also additionally to our entire fire department. It's a big deal. You notice we saw officers who were on duty, who were coming from home. We saw a large part of the department out, so I just want to give kudos to them for supporting each other, because camaraderie is important, particularly in the work that they do. They see people on their worst days. Not their best days, but on their worst days. So kudos to them for lifting each other up, and, you know, just congrats again on behalf of that. I want to also encourage everyone again to celebrate Black History Month and understand what that means to celebrate Black History Month. I want to challenge you to take this opportunity right now to have some uncomfortable conversations and ask, what does Black History Month really mean to people you know, or, you know, have uncomfortable conversations to get to know our neighbors, because honestly, it's hard to hate up close. It's hard to disagree when someone's sitting across from you and you can actually put a name and a face and a person to them, and you can say, why do you do that? And they can say, this is why. And you're like, oh, okay. And then they can say, why do you do that? And so I want to encourage all of our residents, anyone who might hear this, just have the uncomfortable conversations. Black history is a time to reflect and to acknowledge the contributions. And I thank you, Councilman Muir, for mentioning that, but also to just reflect on how we connect with each other, because we have more in common than we have apart. And so on that note, I know genuinely there are a lot of people right now who have some concerns about what's going on in government and what's going on around them. And I'll be honest, I'm one of them. But at the same time, more than ever, people are looking for like answers and they just want to talk. And so I'm having office hours next week. I'm calling that Conversation with Quinn. It's in the library. Come on out. There's no real big agenda. It's just if people have questions or concerns, I'll be there to talk. It's on a Saturday, so hopefully it's not during anybody's kid's basketball game. I know my daughters have a game on Tuesday, so fire up squad. But just as we talked about, remember to be kind, remember to connect, and remember it's okay to have uncomfortable conversations. You come out better on the other side.
All right, thank you. Anything from the attorney this evening?
Nothing from the legal department.
Mrs. Marsh?
Yeah, I just have a few things. Treasurer Wittenberg correctly pointed out that you can pay your taxes at Madison Heights until the end of February, but after the 14th, you're going to be paying them with a penalty. So the due date is February the 14th, but the treasurer's office will still take them for 2 weeks after that. Also, we're supposed to be getting a big snow on Wednesday. I hope it misses us, but we are supposed to get one. And for those who may not always pay attention to the new state laws, the state passed a law earlier this year that requires you to stay 200 feet behind a snowplow. And I see a lot of people in Madison Heights really didn't adhere to that last time. That's about 12 car lengths. I know somebody's going to cut you off and get in that space, but just don't let it be you. Give our snowplow workers some space. And the last thing, I was prepared to talk about drones a little bit when we got to the fireworks display, but it was under the consent agenda. So I just want to take 1 minute and quickly talk about that because I get a couple of comments from residents every year. Fireworks are a trigger for a lot of our residents and our pets. We are already locked into a fireworks show this upcoming year. We did look into the cost of a drone show. It's about $10,000 more for a 100 drone show, which we're not really exactly sure what a 100 drone show looks like. But we are going to be going out to bid next year. It's our nation's 250th anniversary, so we're going to be doing that early, and we are going to get options for drones so we can see the practical cost of moving to that instead of fireworks and also see what they look like. We want something comparable to what we currently do because we've become really well known for our fireworks. They're about 2,500 shells of varying sizes and last about 20 minutes. So we're looking for something comparable in drones. So exactly what that means, we don't know, and we're not going to be doing it this year, but we are considering it for 2026. That's it.
Thank you. Anything from the clerk this evening? Nothing this evening. Councilor Rohrbach?
I just want to remind everyone, if they haven't seen it, that this year there's going to be a Lunar New Year Lantern Festival Parade that's starting at Laupat over on John R. and near 14 Mile. It's on this Wednesday, 5:30 to 7:30. They're giving away, forgive my pronunciation, but Tang Yuan, which is like a Chinese dumpling, from like 5:30 to 7:30. So it's going to be a fun activity. People can come and watch the parade. They can participate. There's people have been making lanterns, and it's just going to be a wonderful celebration. It's led by the folks over at 168 Asian Mart, as well as D-Asian Media, and supported by the Madison Heights and Hazel Park Chamber of Commerce. So it's a nice community event, so I encourage anybody who's interested to go and participate, hoping that the snow doesn't ruin it all, so as Michigan weather tends to. So that's all I've got tonight.
Councilman Fleming?
Yeah, I have a couple things. First of all, congratulations to the hard work that Lieutenant Brown did for our fire department. A lot of great things that he's done, all the training that he's brought back to our fire department that makes our fire department one of the best in the state of Michigan. Also, I want to say that the opening day for the Tigers is coming up on February 22nd, so even though it's going to be super cold, think about Florida, and baseball season coming up in April. And then also for Black History Month, if you get the time, you can go down to the Charles H. Wright Museum, and they have a lot of historical displays there and information, even about like Tuskegee Airmen and other great things that Black Americans have done here for the United States. And a lot of history is in the building. And so, you know, I would spend like an entire day there just walking through and, you know, making sure that you can, you know, get a lot of information and absorb it all and understand what's going on. So, that's it for today.
All right, thank you. So I just want to echo my thanks to Lieutenant Brown for everything that he does with our fire department and for our fire department. And I don't know if we were able to, anyone at home could see this, but we had a ton of firefighters here, just showing their support for him. So that's just really great. We are very lucky to have him working with us. Taxes are due on the 14th, which is this Friday, Valentine's Day. And just a reminder, if you have questions about just anything in general, you can call the city, you can call any of the council, you can email us if you have questions. You know, I hear from time to time, people don't know how to get in touch with us if they have questions. And all of our emails, I believe, are on the website, and I think a lot of our phone numbers are as well. So if you ever have any questions, if there's something that's going on, reach out, and, you know, if whoever you get doesn't actually have an answer, they should be able to direct you at least into the right place. So just keep that in mind. Our next meeting is going to be on the 24th. The time is 8:10, and this meeting is adjourned. Good night.